I feel like the same thing happened with Dating with Disabilities when you hit recording. Everyone went, oh.
Everybody shuts up real quick.
Oh, fucking time. I've had enough of you people. Sorry, this is my morning attitude. It gets better.
You're the one that said 8.
There's a reason for this. We have a lot of international people on the show, so doing it any later in the day does not.
It's too late.
Really conducive for that.
Too late.
But we're on time this week. And for me, last couple of weeks, that's been its own. Nobody else to do. You know what? Let's get this show on the fucking road. I can't deal with you people. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm awake.
Yes.
Right, I'm awake. I was on time this morning. For Black people, that's half the battle. How we doing today? Today is Autastic Artists 7.5. And like part of me is like, how is it we've done 12 shows already?
Oh.
Like somebody hasn't canceled me already?
We've done 12 shows?
Yeah, something like that. It may be 10 or 11.
That is amazing.
I want to say it's like 12
Welcome
shows.
to our dozen episode special.
Right? Like, I don't know. Is there anything special we should say today?
I feel like we should have had something for Rebecca.
I don't have any donuts. You know what I mean? Like, I just...
Thanks for putting up with us, audience.
There's a lot to be
Watch
said
out for
to
more
that.
trigger warnings in the future.
Oh God, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Give it up for our co-host today. Oh, you haven't changed your screen name. I don't know if that's appropriate for this show. So I guess no, it's not appropriate. You're Audra today. You're having too much. See, this is why. See, Miss Cavender, I am the serious one over here. They've got their names from the other show, Polite, whatever. That is not. And the worst part is everybody thinks I'm the one who gave her that name. Don't laugh at me. This isn't
Tune
funny.
into Dating with Disabilities for context.
And then,
Yes.
So give it up for one of our co-hosts. She's the pain in my ass. Give it up for Audra. Shark Fin. Sisak. And then on the ones and twos are bullshit, I guess you could say, sound effects DJ, right? Is that the best way to put it?
Yes.
Give it up for Janejira, the potato chip enthusiast.
Buy my books, please.
No shameless plug or anything. Buy my book, please. Please, pretty please, right? The fuck? Jesus
I need to pay
Christ.
my bills.
And last but not least, she's been going on and off of mute. I don't think she understands she's not supposed to be on mute at all. But the show started. Give it up for Rebecca Cavender.
Yay, Rebecca.
Tell us who you are, Sunshine, because not to be mean, I have no clue, so I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't either. Who are you, Miss Cavender? Tell us about yourself.
I'm good. Right now I'm hearing my dog eat her food and her little collar clang against the bowl. That's
I think
what's
we are
happening.
too. Don't worry. We're all having the same nervous tick now. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good though. It's nice to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do? Where do you live? You know, the general, what I call socially appropriate questions, you know.
The ones I hate.
Yeah.
The one,
I'm glad you gave some examples on the back end of that question.
That's why I did it.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm from the Northwest. like I grew up in Oregon and in Washington, and now I live in BC in British Columbia and in Vancouver.
Oh, an
And-
international episode, just so everybody doesn't know. Sorry.
Woo!
Canada.
That's still international for us. Watch it.
Yeah.
Let's see. And what do I do? I'm a writer. And so basically like what I tell people is publicly is that I'm a copywriter, but I'm an intuitive copywriter. And then I also am a business oracle. So I do oracling for intuitive work for people's businesses. So
And I don't know if you guys are into that, but that has always been the fascinating part that I've enjoyed. I mean, not only that the writing part, the writing prompts are really fun. I'm in the group, by the way. But the oracle part, the whole thing, like that's fascinating. How did you get into that?
I don't know.
Pause 1 second. What is oracling?
Oh, what is oracle? That's yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's forecasting, but for those who may not know,
Kind of, yeah, except for me, I don't want to like predict stuff so much. So I don't really, that doesn't feel good to me. It's more really getting a read on what's going on with someone at the time. And professionally, I do that with people's business. So I support them to feel what's going on in their business. And then, I blend that with my marketing background, with copywriting and kind of strategy stuff. So it's actually really grounded stuff that becomes really practical, because I think if the woo isn't practical, then it's annoying
Yeah.
and not very realistic. So yeah, oracling is just really, and you can do it with anything. It's really just feeling in and sensing in what's going on, what's underneath maybe the layers, what's a message that you might be kind of missing that helps give an explanation for how something's unfolding, or maybe a different perspective on how to approach a situation so that you can come from a more empowered place. That's how it works for me.
Right.
I know there's other people that like to do it about like predictability, like this is what's going to happen in your future and all of that. And I just think we all have so many choices. So
And I just want to make it clear for some of those listeners out there that it is different than being a psychic, like you said, or a medium, because those are different things. The
Yeah.
medium is where you can actually communicate with those who have passed on, where, like you said, this is more about reading the environment and the energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to get that clarified.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
It's interesting about watching you work, because I've seen you work, but I've also seen it in person.
Yeah.
Because for those who don't know, I met Rebecca at what was it called? It was Summit Lights Inclusion, or Inclusion Lights Summit, and Sam is going to just get me later for not remembering. But we met at a summit, and yeah, and it was actually held here in the Pacific Northwest by one of our fellow advocates. And this is how we ended up meeting. And I got to watch all of this in person, and it was amazing. It was really fun.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
there's no feelings. We don't do all that tender shit. You better stop it. Okay. I told you about this before.
Usually I'm not the one
We're
doing
not
that.
crying today. I'm not crying today.
You might cry.
I might cry. Fuck you. That's my line. I probably will cry. That's my line. I usually do end up crying. This is bullshit. But it's funny. My biggest thing is I love how sweet you are. You're all nice. You're like, I don't want to say anything about their future. They can control it. I'll just talk to them about where they're at. Yeah. No, fuck that. Tell them you're a fucking failure. Looks like shit's going bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get your fucking shit together. Are you a business owner or a fucking teenager? Like, what are you doing around here? Nobody goes to a UPS store anymore. No, I'm sorry.
So here's the difference between a highly empathic person versus the very logical.
It's called Asperger's at its worst. What do you mean? You want what kind of hug helps with the bills? Hugs don't pay bills. Why don't we do that?
I wish they
Might
did.
motivate you to pay the bills.
Yes, that's true.
They might motivate you to do the thing to pay the bills.
You know
That's
what?
right.
This isn't the show, but it might motivate me to do something else too. But I'm just saying, like,
Wow. Dante's ready to throw some hands.
I'm awake this morning. Yeah, let's go. Fuck you guys. I even got my SuitMan shirt on today. I came ready, right? Like shit. This doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, the best color.
So my question is how do you incorporate, like, because how do you incorporate being autistic within that
Well, nope, we
intuitive
can't go
part?
there yet. We got to figure
Okay.
out
All
how
right. So
to
he's
get
got an
diagnosed.
agenda.
You're always getting ahead. This is why I'm here. We got a map. We got to hit all the spots. We're on a road trip with a time constraints here. Okay, God damn it. We're going to every. Jesus Christ.
We've got all autistics on the show, and we all have our own agenda.
I
Your
have
own
an
road
A to
trips.
B. I'm the A to B agenda. We're trying to get from point A to B. These fuckers want to scribble on the map and follow some weird fucking line. So we didn't get to what you're diagnosed with. So what's your diagnosis story? Let's start there. See?
Oh,
Jerk.
yeah.
See?
Tomorrow's my anniversary, actually. By
Wow.
diagnosis. Yeah. And
I
I
was
think,
gonna say no sound effects. There we go, Jen. Get
yeah. Yeah, I know. I think it's 4 years tomorrow. And yeah, my daughter was diagnosed like a year before. And so I'm that story of the mom, the woman
Yeah.
who realized after a year I might be autistic too. And my daughter, she like self-diagnosed, and when she was in 3rd grade, and she was begging me to get her tested, and I was like, you're not. And then finally, thankfully, speaking of Sam, I Googled like girls, and I Googled Asperger's because I didn't know at the time. Most people out there don't know that you've switched the word is switched to autism. So I had for
Right.
everyone. I had no clue. And so I Googled Asperger's, and girls found Sam's list with the traits. And I was like, this is me.
Right.
I still didn't think it was me. Like, I was like, well, this is just a quirky, passionate, empathic girl that's like in her own world. That's totally my whole life, and that's my kid. Okay, that doesn't mean anything other than quirky, but yeah, she got anyway. Fast forward, she got a diagnosis, and then unfortunately, some of the challenges with autism.
There are challenges.
And I was like, I had a couple experiences where I realized that I didn't land quite so well with other people in a couple of situations. And I thought, gosh, this sounds kind of like what I've been reading up on.
Yeah.
And so I went into a deep dive journey of my own, and then went to the therapist and got my diagnosis. So 4 years tomorrow. And I'm so glad.
I've got a different anniversary. I'm not gonna make everybody cry, but my mom's never mind. I was like, that's fucked up. Like,
I was gonna say, I know that anniversary.
Yeah, about 2 years I'm over here crying because my mom died, and you're like, hey, I'm autistic, everything's okay. We're not on the same timeline. I see where our emotions are in 2 different places. That means if everything's in reverse, I apologize for what's gonna happen. No, I'm just messing with you. Let me ask you, because it to me, being the Black autist on this, I hear the same story out of 90% of us, that we were shoved in some classroom, we were treated different, we were a behavioral problem, we were still probably pretty good students, and then we graduated, we become a human being, and some asshole with no sensory goes, aren't you autistic, like Audra? And you're like, well, I didn't know that. And they're like, well, we went to high school, I thought you were autistic then. And you're like, You're double the asshole now. So let me ask you, looking back at it, do you remember anything growing up that kind of gives you the feeling that you grew up with autism or that you knew at an earlier age?
I totally didn't know at an earlier age, but I always knew because there wasn't language for it. Like I'm 40, it wasn't a thing. And I lived in a really small town, like nobody knew. And I was masterful at masking, especially once I reached high school. Nobody knew. Sorry to go there, but like I was really
No, don't
good.
ever be sorry for going that place, because that's the reality. I mean, the reality is that most people, the statistic is that it's age 36. We all know that most autistics, the average lifespan is 36.
Yeah.
And it's because of a high suicide rate. I myself am a survivor of suicide. You know, I tried to commit suicide myself when I was 13. So I think that's the reality that we all live.
Yeah, I was 17. And so yeah, same. Yeah, so no one knew. Nobody. But partly, like, you know, if we weave in kind of the things we're talking about, part of it was my empathy. And so I could read everybody else and feel them so much. And so then I would just adapt myself to however they were feeling and like try to be the happy person for them. So, but prior to my major masking, then I was always the weird, like I was the weird one. Like I'm totally different from the other people in my family. At school, thankfully kind of being in a small town, I had friends and it was totally fine. And now growing up, my best friend, we're pretty sure, I know she's totally autistic too. So we were really close.
Hey, don't do the Audra thing. I'm just gonna give you a heads up and tell her, you're autistic. She may not respond well to that.
I know. I feel like I can diagnose everybody.
Well, it's funny,
but there seems to be that
I swore he knew like that.
Oh.
Yeah, that awkward silence of "you're an asshole." That's not a sorry, but it's funny because I'm not mad. I just like giving her shit. But it's funny you said that because, like, when I think back about it, I mask all the time. I'm mixed, I'm deaf, and I'm autistic. And so between the three, I act like I'm hearing stuff. I try to act cooler than I am sometimes, and then half the time I really don't know what the fuck's going on. And that idea of you don't know. I did an interview, and I hate doing job interviews because I think everybody loves me. By the time I'm done with a job interview, yeah, it's great. They asked me 20 questions. They listened to me. Everybody's like, that's just how an interview goes. That doesn't mean you got the job. And
it's nice to have somebody listen.
That's like so. I was sucked at job interviews. I was so bad, and I'm so glad I work for myself now because oh my God, I was so bad.
And I want to point out that that's been a theme on this show for, again, all the listeners that we have. Look at what's happening. We've got autistics who are not employed, and so they end up not being able to support themselves because they can't live off SSI or Social Security. And so they end up working for themselves and having to carve out and create this, thing, and this, this space for them. And so it's very, and it's difficult to run a business. It's difficult to learn everything, so I get it.
And that's where I laugh because, like, I think the one that kills me the most is when people start asking you, like, well, how does autism affect you? And I'm like, well, have you ever noticed I don't have a filter? Not everything I say seems to make sense, but it makes sense to me. Or I laugh at my own jokes. They're fucking hilarious to me, and everybody else is like,
I do that all the time.
are you sure you should have said that at the bank? Like when the white guy called and I was like, you sound like Ted. And he's like, this is Bill. And well, fuck, you guys are both old white guys around 50. You sound the same to me. And they're like, that was racist. That was not racist. But since we're at a bank with white people, you're going to make that racist. You're going to be like, yeah, if we said that about you, you'd get mad. But that's different because when you say that about a black person, that means you're saying we talk like, yo, my nigga, and jive and shit. And that's what, there's no insulting thing about sounding white, is there? You sound like you don't season your potato salad, maybe? Is that the worst thing we're going to hear, right? Let me, sorry. I think that's hilarious.
I don't like how you can't say what racist things to white people.
No.
Because they'll pull a white person.
Yeah, you guys are all colonizers.
So I just know what I meant by that is, let me clarify. What I meant by that was, it's not possible because of the dynamic. That's what I meant.
She's saying you can't because it's not possible to be racist towards a white person because of the systematic racism towards the others. Yes.
Yeah, you
got it.
Oh, you're getting your 3%. We're at 97% of the shit over here. It's all right. You'll be okay. You got. I asked somebody once.
Right.
Do you know a white racist joke? And everybody just thinks. Anybody? I mean, I'm still waiting for the day somebody's like, yeah, I got one for you, Duante. And I don't mean Jewish or Polish. I mean just white people. Da 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 da. Anyways, I digressed enough. Enough. I'm sorry. How do you feel your diagnosis does with your creativity? Does it affect it in a positive manner or negative manner? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'd say mostly positive. I mean, sometimes the negative would be is when I'm really hyper focused and I can't stop and I'm not sleeping.
Yep.
I mean, and I so it really takes a lot of, it's been such a journey to try to have some whatever balances, like to have that in a healthy way for my system. But otherwise it totally fuels it because it gives me the path. I think that's why, so my business is correlated to what I'm passionate about and I love. And so I'm constantly fueled unless I'm really tired.
You can be.
Yeah, but it totally has everything to do with my creativity. And plus for me, like everything's so sensory and my creativity and how it comes through me and like my writing is a sensory experience. And so I think that I pick up on things and the patterns and like, so I can feel words, like I feel them, I can see them, I can like everything's alive for me. So I know that's my autism, like my kind of extra sensory like sensitivity. And that's what makes
I don't like you no more. I just got goosebumps. That's me. I don't and these two, I'm very sensory. I get very uncomfortable with words very easily because I've noticed the pattern and what people are saying to me and their tone. And I don't even hear words sometimes. It's just like, this person's done something negative to me every time I see them. Like when you walk with somebody and every time they're like, hey, dipshit, hey, jackass. If you do that to me enough, I'm like that person and I'm aggressive. So I'll be like, do we have a fucking problem? And people are like, whoa, calm down. Every time I see you, you've had something negative to say. I've counted it. It's 99 out of 99. We have a problem. And then at the same point, when people are real friendly and they call me dear and sugar, I'm like, she's hitting on me. She touched my arm. Like, I totally got on that episode of Big Bang Theory where Billy Bob Thornton showed up to date Penny, and he was like, I talked to her for 7 minutes. She asked 3 questions. She did a touch my arm for 10. That's me. I'll look at. She's rubbing my thigh.
The thighs really.
That was a little more obvious.
But you know what I mean? Not even the rub, but like when you're sitting in a bar and somebody gives you a little touch on the thigh, not a rub, but you know what I mean? Or a glance. Or I notice every time I get touched, basically. It can be a little touch, but I'm just like, I'm hearing what you're saying. Like, that sounds That sounds familiar. I'm not hearing words. I'm hearing feelings. I'm going to go cry and eat some ice cream now. I'll be back. But tell us a little bit more about eating your feelings through healing feelings through words. Go ahead.
I think that's what and people don't know, that this is why, autism is so amazing, because the spectrum is large, and it's not discriminatory against anything, race, nothing, because here we have Duante, who honestly, he comes, he says that he looks aggressive, but to me he's not. He's just this giant teddy bear to me, who just wants a hug. He wants you to sit next to him,
It's a soft
Sigh.
yeah, rub his thigh.
Whoa, wrong
Ooh.
show, guys.
Well, hello, Rebecca. I'll be doing some comedy. And, hey, we know how you guys are. E&M, I've been looking it up. No, I'm just fucking with you.
And what's that?
That's
That's what the young people call being polyamorous. And if you said, what is that?
They call it EM?
Ethically
new one?
non-monogamous. You guys
Oh,
learned?
yeah.
non-monogamous. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, see, Dante's learning some terms on this show.
And I didn't know that they like even abbreviated it. I'm out of the
Fuck that. I got to tell this story since you just said that. So somebody was on one of our message groups for the comedians, and they're like, with all these SJWs out here, nobody can have a good time. I'm tired of all these SJWs. I was like, single Jewish women? I like single Jewish women. What's wrong with single Jewish women?
Yeah.
And he was like, they're social justice warriors. And warriors. Like, well, those are okay too, but I'd rather have the single Jewish women. Can we go back to what that acronym meant? I like that one a little bit more. Sorry. Go.
When did that change?
In my head. Fuck you. That's what the acronym was.
No, it's always been single Jewish women. I'll give you that one.
If there's any single Jewish woman listening, Duante is single and ready to flamingo.
Flamingo, they're like, oh my God, I got something for this bagel. Oh shit, Jesus Christ. Oh my. So you were saying you translate the idea of feelings from words. What do you mean by that?
It's hard to put in words, honestly, because
I know I go from out here in left field back to serious. You gotta get used to
it's
it.
totally okay. I can do that. So I think for me, it's that I'll feel the word. So okay, in what context? What can you repeat it?
Can you repeat the question? I don't even know what the fuck I said. What do you mean? Can I repeat it?
Here.
One of the things you said is that you're able to talk about how words have feelings behind them, right? And I said that really hit me. And what do you mean by that? Because for a lot of people, I don't think, and I like to call them normies. For the normies, they don't get that. And so, what do you mean by that? How does that apply to you? And what do you mean by the feelings behind the words?
Yeah, well, a few different things. One is I can totally relate to what you shared for your experiences, because a lot of times people will say things and they'll use, like when people are passive aggressive, and I can't understand it. All I can do is feel something, but I don't know what it is. I can't catch it. I'm like, I just know something's off. And so with words and like people's even if I'm in person or not, if I read something and I can feel what they negative or positive, what they meant behind the word, because of that empath stuff. And so I get really hung up on the feeling. Like I'm like, well, this doesn't feel right. Even if the words are nicey, I know that they really aren't. And then also when words are used, like in terms of when I'm using them in my work, or if I'm writing poetry, or like Audra, we've been in a writing circle together, and the words are just coming straight through people because you kind of get out of your head and just let the words flow. Then when I'm in a space like that, then the words, the translating part has to do with I feel like a texture of a word, or I see a picture, or I feel the feeling, and then I have to kind of put that into words, right? Because it's not like literally the words are being fed to me. It's more of a feeling that's kind of out. It feels like it's here, and then I have to kind of move, and I have to move my body, and rock a little bit, and then I'm like, or close my eyes, and then I feel it, and I'm translating the feeling or the picture, or sometimes like a sound, like a song or a tune or something like that, and then putting it into words.
And that takes a lot of practice. Just again, a lot of practice to do that, especially for those who may not be as empathic, or have that intuitive feeling. But anybody can have it. It's just it takes a lot of practice.
I was gonna say mine's a Hulk
so
smash
that's
feeling. When people say shit to me, I just start wanting a Hulk smash. So yeah. I don't get all the nice words. Like that was the one, like I was thinking about Paul Kilmer. He's been on here, and Paul has no clue about sarcasm.
Yeah.
And me and Paul have a conversation, and it is like, are they getting along? Because I'll be like, Paul, how you doing, buddy? And he'll be like, I'm fine. And then I'll say a smart ass comment like, I bet you didn't know that was gonna happen. And he'll be like, no, Duante, you're right. When I thought about it before I did it, I had no clue it was. And I'm like, Paul, I want to like shake him. Paul, love you, buddy. Come on. But at the same point, I feel we're all the same way. These guys, they'll tell you I don't respond well to passive aggressive. So when you said that, like, I get mad. Actually, I don't think Audra's seen it too much, but Jane has. Jane's seen it in real life, the comedy scene where people do passive aggressive shit, and I'm just like, I go from, hey, I made a status, and somebody says something passive aggressive, and I go, what the fuck did you just say to me? And everybody's like, why'd you get so mad? I'm like, it's right here in the words. You don't see it. And I'm just like, it's right here in the words. You didn't read the words. I word. Like the words yelled at me, cussed at me. I saw a little dragon, saw a white guy burning a cross on his word. Like I saw all of that in the words. And all you saw is, have a good day. Okay.
And
Hey guys, why you guys like? I need to write. I need to.
That's how it goes.
I need to go back and listen to the shows and then do this shit on stage and see how it goes. That's
I was just gonna say we need to write this down. That's
we need a scribe.
So and again, so what you're describing, I believe the term for it is synesthesia. So, and Duante has not heard this term yet. This is a new one.
How do you know? You don't know me.
Not on the show. I should clarify. We have not talked about it on the show. And it's where you can actually take another feeling, a sound, a word, or something that you see, and you feel it in a different way, in a different pattern. So I love to give the example of Fantasia because they put music and that's what I see. When I hear music, I see these pictures. I see pictures.
Yep.
And so I think what you're describing is when you hear or when you have these feelings, you then can transcribe that feelings into the same thing.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Which is not uncommon with autism.
Right. And this is where we get our awesome artists, our fantastic people throughout the centuries that we've had, because they've been able to take that, what I call superpower or ability, and focus it and make beautiful art with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you say that because one of the articles I read about as far as, and I'm pulling it up as we speak, is Spark did a whole article about how autistic people are more likely to identify as LGBTQ. And part of that is because gender roles and norms and all those things really go over our head. I like Bob. Bob's a guy. I'm a guy. But I love spending time with Bob. I want to spend more time with Bob. That means I love, like, I could see, no, I'm not talking about me here. nothing personal. Love
Mhm.
women as an example, right?
I know.
I
You
can
love
see
single Jewish women.
that's called a callback for all you guys trying to learn how to do comedy. That was a
That's a
well-placed callback by Janejira there. Son of a bitch. But it's funny to hear all these people. And I think the best part for me and I think also Jane and Audra is they've become so much louder and more welcome since we've done the show because their personalities have came out. Whereas I have found a fucking conscience and I hate it, but it's
We got in your head.
fuck off. I'm an asshole. You can't stop that. I'm not this big cuddly teddy bear. Stop telling everybody all this bad
Oh my gosh, yes, you are.
Rebecca's, I can see it now. He's a teddy bear. I want to squeeze him too. Yeah.
It's so obvious.
Fuck you guys. Wait till you see me mad. You was like me and I'm angry. I'm not gonna cry anymore. But it's funny to hear. And I guess for me the best experience is because I look at some of these things and I don't think anybody's talking about them. I haven't heard these conversations anywhere. We're not having these conversations in a general forum. We're not giving autists a platform, a sounding board, a show to identify with. I've never heard anybody talk about selective mutism, synthesis, say what the fuck ever the fuck you just wanted, whatever word you white people just made up, right? No, I'm joking. I looked it up. Audra almost spit out her coffee. Damn it, I should have doubled down with one more. I think she would have spit it out. And then, but the thing is we're not talking about these things. And so we always talk about, normies, words affect people.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit. Because you guys find ways to use your words without saying what you really mean. And some of us know what you mean. Did you just give me a yes? Like, amen?
Yes.
And that's what I think is not the message, but that's what I'm getting. I'm a translator. That's what my autism does to me. I have to take what you said. Okay, that's not gonna work. I need to say it a little simpler. You said a little too many things that were up here for the regular person. I already know I talk up here, so we got to dumb it down a little bit. But I don't think people understand that for a lot of autistic people, we hear what you meant.
Yeah, totally. And we might not like always, at least for me, like I'll get hung up. Like I get so confused. So I have this thing going on simultaneously. Like I'm really confused because the feelings and the words aren't matching.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so confused, but then I'm like, I have to trust like the feeling that I'm getting, that like you're off, like something's off. You said something that's not nice. Like this isn't kind, like you're being an asshole. And even though like I can't handle when people aren't like straight and direct with their words.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Messes my whole body up.
Yes, thank you. And again, for those who are non-autistic listening, that's why we start stimming, because now we're trying to regulate our senses because we're trying to read you.
It's so much effort. It's so much effort. It's so exhausting to sit there. I mean, we had a beautiful person come visit us recently, and I'm pretty sure it's an autistic youngster masking. But I was like, I can't. There was so much masking going on, and my daughter was like, well, what did you think about this person? I'm like, I'm sure they're wonderful. I have no idea who they are, because I don't have the capacity right now to try to like unmask them in my system. Like I can't sit here and just like all the things going on in the world right now. I don't have the capacity. And I think we have the right to be able to say, I'm not going to mess with that. If somebody can't like be straight and use their words and talk to us in a direct way and mean what they say, then I think we have the right to be like, maybe this isn't the right kind of dynamic for us to be in. I think we can make the requests of the normies, the neurotypicals to say what they mean. And it's liberating for them.
Right.
They're conditioned as well.
Well, let me ask you a question, because we got an interactive question I think somebody will want answered. And I know it doesn't work for me either because I overload. And I did, and I'll answer it and ask you at the same time because I think it's a hell of a question. So the person said, "Do you still pick up on your sensory of words in loud, busy environments?" And
Ooh,
my answer is
question.
no.
No.
I get overloaded. Last night I was at Roxy's celebrating Tara's birthday. Rest in peace, Tara. There'd be no SuitMan Productions if it wasn't for Tara. Scott, she helped me throw my first show, make Duante dad again when I went through my divorce. So I didn't. I handled death real bad, so I didn't go. But that is my personal shout out to Tara Scott on a show that will forever be everywhere. So rest in peace, Tara and Paradise. But we were at the bar and there's probably 100 people there and they're all getting along and everybody's having a good time. There was no danger. It's not like my usual, and I just looked at my friend as, I can't fucking handle this. I can't read the whole room. It was, you know what I mean? Like everybody thinks about Superman being able to read minds. I'm like, that don't make sense. Because if I was Professor X, I'd be like, I don't want to know about the guy masturbating to toenails in Eastern Amsterdam. Like, I don't know, why am I hearing? I don't want to hear his thoughts anymore. Can we just kill him? Like, so that was the question. That was pretty spot on. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, how well is your sense of fucking forever, whatever it is? How is that in a bigger room or around more people?
No, because it's overloaded because you feel it all, right? And you can't feel the direct, like it's so much information. Like to me, it feels like information. And
Yeah.
information for your system, like this incoming sensory information. So there's so much of it going on. I have physical responses too. Like I get overwhelmed, I'll feel sick. My spine starts to, like my back hurts, but it will feel hot. Like my spine feels hot, and I'll start like, oh my gosh, the thing I love about COVID is how they make you stand 6 feet apart.
Yes. Yeah.
It's really nice, actually.
I love that shit.
I know, it's like, please never stop that.
Yeah.
But because I couldn't handle it, like people being like close and lining up to check out at the grocery store. Like I would start to get hot, like, and like some people, I guess, might interpret that as like almost having a panic attack. And it wasn't quite that. It could, but for me, I just knew I need to get out of here. Like I can't, like it's just, I can't because it's so much information, and even talking about it or thinking about it, I can feel my whole body right now be like, no.
It's
Just so
nice to like walk past people and then they move and you don't have to ask them to move.
Yeah,
I like that.
See,
that needs to be a meme right there.
I'm not really like, I'm a big black guy and I don't like people walking into me and I'm like, I'm 6'2", 280 fucking pounds. How did you not fucking see me? And then when I get mad about it, it's, oh, now we got the scary black guys. No, you invaded my fucking bubble. Stay out of my bubble.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
6 feet rule was great for me in public. You mean I can not get walked into? I could not get upset for somebody not respecting my personal space.
And remember when like they limited the amount of people in the stores?
Yes.
That was so nice.
I know, wasn't it?
I was just like, that's awesome, because I mean, it was just, I was like, well, everybody's getting a flavor of what, you know, I don't know. And most people, I think, kind of liked having that stuff too. I've heard a lot of people say
A lot of people did. I want to say that a lot of autistics out there are very extroverted. That is a personality trait, not an autistic trait. Like my son is very extroverted. So he when COVID hit, he was like, I am sad, I want to go out. But there's many of us who are introverted who love being at home. So like you said, for us, the 6 feet rule, the delivery service, man, we're living it up. This is our world now.
For me, it was the anxiety piece.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to do comedy, or I didn't have time to do shows, or I wasn't going on dates, or the mind fuck you do to yourself. And I was like, nobody's doing anything. Yes. Ha!
It's not just me.
We're all on restriction. Fuck you. Right? Like, great. It really, and for me, it was It was huge. It was fucking awesome. Nobody's doing anything. I'm not doing anything either. I'm not a loser because I go home and play video games every night. Everybody's losers. Yeah.
Planet Earth just put us on restriction. We're grounded.
I had a joke about that. I don't know why you white people were mad about COVID. And then I went, oh, that's right. You've never been on anything but a bullshit timeout.
Ooh, I have been grounded many a time.
Oh, look at that. That's racist, sir. I don't appreciate that. I've had it a lot worse than you think, okay? They took away my cell phone.
I didn't have that either.
I didn't even have a cell phone because I'm Asian. You don't need to call anyone.
Whoa, and she did the shitty voice too. That's what her mom says. Like, that's the funny part. The black guy at door. The black guy at door, James.
Be careful. And I was like, no, that's my friend. Oh, he's scary.
When your old friend's mom, look at Rebecca's like, I don't know if I want to cry for him or laugh. That's funny, but that's fucked up.
For reference, my mom is 5'2", so she's very small
And I
compared
just
to
want to
him.
let you know, by the way, your little jab about like you're 40. Pardon my French, but bitch, we're both basically 42. You're not the only one. We only have one millennial on this show. It's Jane. Okay?
Hi, I
heard
turned
you.
25 in 2 months.
Yeah, Jared's the only young in here.
Yeah. The rest of us
I'm
are
a
old.
small bee.
Remember, black don't crack. That's all that is.
I've been told I have an old soul, whatever that means.
Aww.
Oh,
She does. She's ready to be married off and mailed to a white man, like in the Vietnam War. That's the old. Oh shit, Jesus, too far. Hey, so let me get back on topic. We go all over the place. This is why we have fun. Okay.
Okay.
It says in your interview that you have. Oh shit, I lost my place. You didn't answer some questions for me. Is what I was going to say.
That was too hard.
I'm not here to be an asshole, but you don't have a favorite color or a favorite
Well, it's
comedian.
There was no context. So I was like, favorite color for what? Like that I want to wear,
That
the
is a
color for
good
decorating the house,
question.
or the color I like. I'm like, I can't answer what my favorite color is because you have to
Fucking
specify
white
what you
people.
mean.
What color brings the most joy to your heart?
I don't know. It
When-
depends.
it depends. So she's wanting more specific. What color brings you the most joy when you are sitting in your garden?
Ooh.
Now she's looking out in her garden.
Well, you
Yeah,
know,
because I
never
happen to
thought-
see outside and I see the sun. And I think like Canada's having like a
it is
heat
like-
wave
it's
right
like
now.
that
Yeah.
golden light. When the golden light hits, like probably that's when the golden light hits the leaves or when the sky, like the sky when it like has the clouds get that early in the morning and at dusk when they get the golden light around the clouds and stuff.
Yeah.
And the light is so pretty and it makes
Yeah.
me feel like, well, calm, makes me become more present. Like when you
See?
I love the colors of sunsets.
oh yeah, they're so beautiful.
Auntie's
See,
awfully quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just
He's like,
I'm like, fuck you guys. That's basically like it's
he's like,
perfect.
it's a simple question.
I was gonna say him and I are very simple.
Fucking white
Purple.
people and women. Like, what do you want for dinner? What, you mean
Purple.
dinner now or dinner tomorrow? Or what would I like for dinner? Or what can we have? 'Cause I would like. What the fuck? I just asked you what do you want to eat? Like, never mind. So you couldn't.
We're writers.
Why couldn't you? Oh,
Right.
that's the other fucking part. I can't stand writers. You people. I'm not a fucking.
You are a writer.
Right, you're
You know that I was gonna say, you know that thing you do when you are on stage?
I just made jokes come out of my head. I don't really like write them. Like you said, I'm gonna rewatch this episode and do that whole joke thingy. Didn't really write that. Didn't really. Sorry, I'm a freestyle writer. I need what do they call them? Like the court reporters, right? What's your
Stenographer.
yeah? What's your favorite comedian? And you wrote down Eek. I've never heard of Eek. Can you tell me what country fucking Eek performs in. I'd love to see him. Or is that just the noise you make when you see him?
Are you a comedy roadie like me?
Oh my God. It's because I can't remember people's names. And I'm like, I don't know.
That one black
Like,
guy.
oh,
She's like, I can't say
awesome.
that. He's black. I can't be like the one funny black guy. And I'll be like, oh, she's talking about me. She must have been talking about me. I'm the funny black guy.
Because I'm like, I forget, like, people who are famous, I never remember their names, and I can't, like, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't even watch that much comedy. And I was kind of like, eat, because you're a comedian. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, because I'd have to watch the thing and then figure it out, because I just don't remember.
You could always put, I don't know, just in case anyone is ever confused by that question, just put Dante, so you can just, continue to grow his head as we
That's
go
what I
along.
should have done. I'll
We're
do
gonna
that
fit in the
future.
screen if we do that, and we're gonna have room for everybody at that point. You guys are fucking jerks. Fuck you. Now you still didn't do this one. This one wasn't that hard either. What's your favorite holiday?
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little, it's changed because, okay, so back in the day when I was a kid and ignorant, I really loved Thanksgiving. But I can't really love Thanksgiving anymore unless we freaking change the name of it and like change maybe the date and have it be a family like harvest festival day or something like that. Like, and not have it like, so
You don't support
I'll
the
agree with
massacre
that
of
one.
Native Americans is what you're saying. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll play.
What else? Like, and so now I'm not really totally, I mean, Christmas is fun, but I don't know. I really don't know what my favorite holiday is anymore. I don't know. And it's weird, like with COVID, and then I'm moved. And so I just, for me, it's if I can be with my family and be with people that I really care about and you eat good food, I'm happy.
Are you sure you're not running for office? That's a pretty politically sound answer. Like I just had that click. Like she's got to be planning to run for mayor of BC or something. She don't want to have a favorite comedian. She's like, my favorite color's the rainbow, just so I don't miss anybody. My favorite holiday is Pride. Yeah, that's it. It's not a holiday, but it should be. Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck, like just say I'm fat kid. Halloween. I want to eat everybody's candy. Like
Halloween. That's my
DoorDash.
That is an amazing holiday.
DoorDash is my favorite.
September 18th is pretty great also.
My favorite was when the girl at the bank said, "Aren't you excited? Monday's Columbus Day." Like, I'm a little Native American.
Are you serious?
I was like, well, she was like, we get the day off, and I was like, but I'm a little Native American. She was like, what's that mean?
Oh.
I discovered your bank account today, bitch. That's what it means. I'm going to discover your bank account. I want everything in it. It's mine now. I claim it. Yeah. So here we go. We're going to get back on. See, even the person who asked us the question said, I love Halloween. You need to get your shit together. Even our listeners can make decisions very quickly, okay? Jesus. So here comes my least favorite part of the show. Okay.
We all. Oh, yes.
I only say that because these two people have decided that they're going to do this shitty part of the show where we don't ask any questions that really have to do with autism. Okay? So go ahead, you three, and have your fucking fun. Okay? Have your fun, whatever. Okay?
Yes. Now for the best part of the show.
Where Dante is no longer talking. Just kidding. So I'm going to start off. If anyone is listening, Lightning Round is based off of a Friends show kind of thing where we ask 3 questions that are more neurotypical, 3 questions that are more neurodivergent, things that I would like to know more about instead of your typical, what is your favorite holiday kind of thing. Sorry, Dante. So
Wow.
my first.
Whoa, time out. That's how we're fucking bus driving like that. Like,
I told you I was on fire today. Yeah. So I will. Janejira does this with me, and so we'll start off. I'll start off with a neurotypical question. What would be your favorite travel destination, or one of them?
what time of the month is it? How is she feeling? Is it a summer, spring, or fall? I just read that bitch's eyes. I know you already. She was like, this is a horrible question. This is just as bad as Dante's. That's what she thought. That's what that eye look was. This isn't a better question than his. I've got 72 answers for this. Look, she's fanning herself. That's when old women are laughing too hard. They're like, I gotta fan these tears. It's getting hot in here.
Let me be more specific. What's your favorite travel destination in winter in Europe?
In Europe? I don't like Europe in winter. It's cold.
Oh my freaking god.
Oh,
I told you you were going to have fun. Look at her. She's done fanned herself. I got to get it together. There's more questions.
Red. But like you can see the white.
So I think a better way of answering this isn't winter. What's your cold destination and your warm destination? There we
Warm,
go.
cold. There you go.
Okay, well, the place I want to go to, I'm not going to answer either of those questions.
Thanks.
Should we just move on?
The place I want to go to the most, and I haven't been, is Finland.
Awesome.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You know, have some gefilte.
Yeah. All right, so that's on maybe the bucket list of things to do then.
Totally, but you asked what my favorite place is.
Yeah.
Favorite.
We could leave it as your bucket list of things to do. That's your travel destination.
Okay.
So, Janejira, you're up.
Well, I have a writer question real quick. Do you participate in NaNoWriMo?
No.
Ah.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, exactly. What is NaNoWriMo?
National Novel Writing November month. It's a month in November where the writers are challenged to write 50,000 words in the month for their book. Ta-da! And the winner, the prize is that you have your book ready, and you wouldn't have had it ready before because we spend the other 300 whatever days procrastinating.
I was going to say that sounds like my executive functioning worst nightmare.
It's very difficult.
That sounds like the antiquity term of spring cleaning. We haven't done shit all year, but we're going to spring clean. Yeah.
It's intense. Yeah. No, I don't do it.
All right, so I'll give you an easy one since we have talked about this. What is your favorite dinosaur?
Okay, it's the Brachiosaurus because I like the long necks with the spots. I think the spots are so cute.
I'm mad that is the first question that she was just like, yeah, I got to answer for that. Dinosaurs? Yeah.
I prepared.
It's the most important question.
I got her crying and laughing again. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she's like, I've been waiting all week. I love Brachiosaurus. Yeah.
I mean, I think deep down, every adult wants to talk about their favorite dinosaur, but we can't because we're adults.
No, I think every Autie wants to. All of us Auties want to talk about it. Normies don't give a shit. I'm just gonna let you know. They're like, dinosaurs aren't even real, bro.
Dante's using another vocabulary.
They are. Well, they were real.
Dante's using another vocabulary term. Good for him. Write that down. I heard you. Go ahead.
I really love your little seal. I just noticed.
Thank you so much. It's the seal of approval.
This show has gone way out of control.
I think ever since Easter, I started putting like animals on here, and now it's a running theme that I just have a different animal every episode.
Yeah, we don't have BDSM Bear out this week, though. Thank God, Jesus Christ.
That's for the other show.
All right, Janejira, you're up next.
Well, on the terms of autistic questions, do you have a favorite stimming activity?
Yeah,
Or does that depend?
Rocking. Like I rock.
Same.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I do rock sometimes. I love stem dancing. Mhm.
Yes. Sometimes I'll just stand in my kitchen and I'm like, it's a musical number now. We're gonna dance for no reason. There's no music, but that's okay.
Yes, I'm in the mode today because guess what? I haven't had any sleep because I was up all night preparing for the show.
Oh.
I mean, that's what we do because we're just
Yes.
so excited. We gotta get ready. We gotta get everything perfect.
You hyper focus, yeah.
Don't
That's how
worry.
it
On the
goes.
nights that I finally decided to do computer work for comedy, Jane gets emails till like 4 or 5 in the morning. She knows.
Yeah,
And then I answer them because I'm wide awake.
she's awake.
Well, except lately I've been falling asleep at like midnight and then waking up at a normal hour, and I'm
Yeah, I
like,
know,
what is happening?
I haven't been getting any of my work done. I don't appreciate that. Anyways, next question, Audra. Next question.
All right, one more for. I'm not going to ask any more neurotypical questions because
Thank
apparently
you.
those are bombing.
So
Those are about
that's
as good
like,
as my jokes, right? Yeah.
it's proof that like neurotypical questions suck.
Yeah. There you go. What has been? I know you run the Facebook group, the writing prompts, and what is your favorite? Like so you have all these writing prompts, but what's your favorite topic? Like I know it may depend on the day, but like this past week, I noticed you've been really advertising for this intuitive copyright thing that you have, which is awesome and it's amazing. But you have like a favorite that you love to pick out and use a lot for a prompt?
No, because they really are intuitive. So I have I don't plan them out or anything.
Okay.
So the day that they come, then I'm like, just kind of close my eyes for a minute and then see what do I hear for the words or feel for the words. And then I put those phrases down for the prompt. So they really are like, because to me, it wouldn't be an integrity if I'm asking people to write intuitively and I'm not intuitively giving a prompt.
I think that's awesome because I'm on the writing pages. I don't follow a writer's life like you guys do, but I do it for the material and just to help me keep my mind loose, and I do see all these prompts that they're already pre-made. They're, and then you go off of that, and I can see how that could be very fabricated. It's like almost fabricated. It's structured, rigid. It doesn't have that flow to it.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that they're great. I just think I'm always just surprised how many people really like having writing prompts. But to me, it just gives, I guess, what they like about it is it gives them something to start. It's like starter fluid so that they can start to let them go, but let the words come. But yeah, ours are really, the intention is to try to not conjure something up just from your mind but to really try to become present however you want. And as autistic people, it's super easy. You just have to do the sensory thing that helps you feel really present in the moment and like inside yourself, and the words can come through.
Oh, so again, good point. When I teach executive functioning skills to my students, it is so difficult to try and, get them over that hump because it's trying to teach them, hey, this is what your body feels like when you have anxiety or when you're having a writer's block or a roadblock or a brain block, as they like to call it.
Yeah.
And so this is what you can do to get past it. And that's the hardest part, is getting past it, is learning what coping skill you can use to get past it. And it's amazing when you can find one.
You just have to use your sense, because we're so sensory. You just use your senses. So that's one of the things I teach people, is to figure out their own sensory map, which is, it's just, well, what are your favorite senses? What are they? Identify them. And then also let's say you love smell, this is scent. Well, which one is your favorite? And what are your favorite elements? Well, do you like fire? Well, then light a candle. And let's say you like the smell of oranges. Well, have an orange scented candle, and
These
then
are
have that
really
next
good
to
ideas.
you, and then smell it or
Yes.
have, essential oil or something, and then just move your body a little bit, because we need to move our bodies. Like, we have to regulate ourselves through movement. So just do whatever movement you need. For writing, I find that actually if you rock a little bit, it does actually, for whatever reason, 99% of the time, that's what works for people, to add like the sensory thing and just rock a little bit and just feel present. Then it will start to flow, whatever it is that's true. And it doesn't have to be just writing. It can be anything that you want to create, or anytime you just want to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
yeah, just being authentic, right? That's, to me, that's the main, like the biggest picture of this, all the stuff that I do is really so that people can just be themselves.
I'll end lightning round on that note, because I know how difficult those questions are.
Oh, there's a scene that I was writing the other day that takes place in a hospital. So to really like step into the scene, I put on some like ambient hospital noises, because for some reason that's a thing on YouTube, and then I was like feeling it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so perfect, because then you kind of you absorb it, right? And then you can imagine yourself in that space, and then you can write from that space.
Yes.
I totally get it. When I write for people, even professionally, then with their copywriting, then I ask them all the time, like their favorite scents and like their favorite colors. And then like somebody who's like really into roses, then before I sit and write the copy for them, I'll smell like rose oil.
Yes.
And I'll really, and then I'm like, oh, because then I'm like channeling the frequency of the rose into their copy, so that they, like, I'm infusing them, like whatever they love, right? So, but to me, it's all through the senses. So I love that that's so awesome. You did that with the YouTube hospital.
I'm just
And
trying to
I
be
love
rich and famous. That's why I'm smelling cocaine all the time. I figure that's what they
Yeah.
do in LA, right?
Jeez.
That's a sense, right? It's through the nose.
I've actually had to ask a bunch of my friends who do like weed and stuff, and it's like, can you describe to me the experience of being high? Because my character's going through that, and I need to know.
Well,
Please
just
tell
like,
me.
Good that
you can always call
It's not good.
SuitMan.
You're right here.
I was just gonna say, between
I was
me and
gonna say we're
Audra,
right here, man.
we got you covered. How is it on
This
edibles?
was before I knew you guys, though.
You've always
My
known
goodness.
me. Somewhere in your heart, you knew me. Okay, it's okay. Creepy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I think we've covered all the craziness. And have you had fun, Rebecca?
Yeah.
Was this more fun than you? I told you were gonna have more fun than you thought, didn't I? I wasn't lying. Haha. So let's see here. Two big questions. What can we do to help you? I've already posted your generic website, the RebeccaCavender.teachable.com, on the chat. What can we help you with? What are you doing right now? I know the alchemy of copywriting. Tell us about that.
Yes, excuse me. Yep, it's a course that has a bigger picture. So anybody who has a business who's interested, that you need to be able to write about your business. So copywriting is sales writing, basically marketing writing. And so I just have a different approach to it, because I don't like the traditional marketing methods. And so this is a more of a theoretic kind of philosophical macro view of how to approach marketing and copywriting, particularly in a way that people who are sensitive and they don't also like the traditional marketing methods that seem to be really pushy or manipulative, or and are super fear-based. So because because marketing knows how powerful words are. And so they can use them to manipulate you. So how to do that so you're not manipulating people.
Yeah, and
Fuck you.
thank you for
I feel
thank you
attacked.
for providing that space.
No, fuck
because,
all that.
boy,
I'm a
because
salesman.
I am like that. Dante's, yeah.
You can cancel in 4 to 5 days, not 45, but 4 to 5. You see how that works? I sold timeshare. Go fuck yourself. I did not like what you just said to me or about me. You're like, marketers and salesmen can be manipulative. They can be sneaky. I'm trying to teach you a way not to sell that way.
That's hilarious. That's right. Social media marketing is one of my jobs.
It's funny you say that because I've been, every time we have guests on and we talk about something, I'm like, I need to write a book because we do all our stuff, and Jane and them will tell you we do all our marketing for free. Yep. Somebody around here is pretty good at marketing. I see your little product pitch again there, Jane. Again, my book. This is how I market my book. Let me ask you, there was one other question we had on here that we go through, and I saw you had filled out, is where can we find you and how can we support you?
Yeah, you can go to my regular website as well, which is just my name, RebeccaCavender.com. I'm on Instagram, which is Rebecca.a.cavender. I have the free, if you're interested in intuitive writing, then there's the free Facebook group called Write Your Fire. And as Audra's talked about, I post writing prompts in there for people and just support them. And it's specifically designed for autistic people and highly sensitive people. So it's not like an overwhelming.
It's not. I actually enjoy the group.
Well, do you have any questions for us?
I will be joining that group today.
Do you have any questions for us today? Did I lose you?
What is your biggest hope for having this podcast? Like, what is it that you hope the most can
I think we got to do this again.
Inspire.
This ended up pretty good. This we might have to do this again. I like this. We're gonna ask them to ask us a question. We'll go with the young whippersnapper first. What is your goal with this show, Janejira?
Well, the first thing I thought was money, but that's just me because I'm a marketer. I'm a broke-ass millennial. I would love it if Calpico could sponsor me. It's my favorite beverage. That's my biggest goal. My biggest small goal in life.
Hold on. Take out the NOS can. It's not like I've been like, hey, everybody. Just to let you know.
Also, more relative goal is I hope that we are able to emotionally move people and make people feel seen, because when I was in middle school and stuff, suffering as you do, I didn't even know what autism was, and it would have been so nice to just have podcasts or media or videos that tell you about autism in a positive way, and not here are some very depressing statistics and blah 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 blah. It's can I see somebody on the spectrum that's also Asian thrive, please? And I hope that we can be that somebody.
Oh.
And I agree with that one, but I'll save mine for last because I'm the host. Audra, how do you feel about that question?
Yes. Yeah, so I agree that I wanted to break all stereotypes when it came to autism. Again, it's not discriminatory against race, gender, sexual orientation, religion. It is with all of it. Anybody can be autistic. And I wanted to show that we're just not all this mathematical Sheldon type. There's so many that have creative outlets, and we can do so many things and actually work for ourselves. And so again, just breaking the mold, breaking that stereotype out there.
We're autastic artists.
Yeah. And like you said, having representation that for everybody, again, having Duante on the show and having Janejira, representation for them.
I'm not gonna cry. You guys got me close, okay? No, I'm gonna be honest. I'll probably cry. When I first started the show, I was asked to do it, and it was something else to get into. I have now become somewhat of the voice of Black autism. And for me, it has been infuriating. It has been traumatizing. It has been a lot of different emotions for me doing these interviews because we do not, as a people, support other Black kids with special needs or disabilities. We as a community do not think it's okay for our kids to have special needs or disabilities, and we do not comfortably talk about these things. Yeah, I'm gonna cry in a real
Yep,
place.
I see those misty eyes.
And yeah, this is how I cry. I don't do the regular cry like everybody else. My new goal has been to not let this be a white disease. And nothing against you, Rebecca or Audra, but when
No.
we interview um, our white guests, the interview is a little different because there's a support for Caucasian people that we don't have to begin with, right? You're just the fucking weird kid. And so most of our guests that are of color or even Asian, like when Juliana from was on from Malaysia, it's different for minorities to have a disability, and I want minorities to say no, it's okay. That's my best way of saying it, and I want
Yeah,
them to know
exactly.
that I'll fuck anybody up who fucks with you. I'm big enough. I'm 6'2", 280, right? I'm your big grizzly bear if you need it, or your big titty. I'm not gonna cry anymore. We're gonna end this thing. Give it up for our guest today, Rebecca Cavender. My other co-host, the fucking millennial potato chip enthusiast. Thank you. And shameless plug for us on Amazon Prime for $14.99, right? Well, anyway,
I don't think that's the price, but
yeah, it's cheaper than
buy
that.
my books, please.
I was trying to make a couple extra dollars. Give it up for the polite. I mean, give it up for Audra Sisak, other co-host, right? And her shark fin hair. And last, give it up for the emotional teddy bear, your host, the man with the most, Duante SuitMan Barnett. Talking about representation tonight. If you're not doing anything, get back on your computer because we've got a show for you tonight. We're doing Mixed and Misidentified tonight, the What Are You show. It is one of my favorite shows because we actually put the races and the mixes of the comedians on there. And just this year, the what would I say, the nationalities that we have actually represented is ridiculous. We've got Korean, Chinese, Puerto Rican, French, Middle Eastern, Black, Swedish, Lebanese, Eritrean. We've got like 20 different nationalities not recommended, but represented by these 9 comedians. So you get a chance to hear everybody talk about what it's like when people are like, hey, what are you? And you're like, I'm fucking human. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, have a laugh. But that'll be on tonight at 7 p.m. tonight on SuitMan Productions. If you saw the show, you figured out how to see the comedy show. Same bat time. Well, same bat channel, just different bat time. Thank you for showing up, everybody. Have a great day.